Alright, welcome back to another stream of Disco Elysium with session number 7 and finally the end of the first day. I know, kinda crazy that it actually took us more than 6 streams to get to this point. But yeah, gonna continue there and we will be finishing the first day, sleep a bit and then see what we can do in the second. Now, there are a few appointments that we have to keep in mind, but I will probably have to check the quest log in order to really memorize which days it was. I think it was a Wednesday morning and a Tuesday evening. So like second day evening, third day morning. But we're gonna check that again and make sure we're not missing out on any important kind of like events. But yeah, looking forward to playing more of this. I've been really enjoying the story and the writing, the world building, the music, the art style. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I definitely hope that we'll be much further into the playthrough at this point. Especially given that we started the playthrough initially at the end of August. Of course, I've been kind of like taking a break from it. I've also not been doing like maybe the longest sessions, but it didn't strike me as the type of game where you would be spending, you know, dozens upon dozens of hours. But it is possible, and I've of course been taking my time because I've been enjoying it so much. But yeah, it's a bit conflicted, you know. At the same time, I want to like get the game done soon, but also I don't want to like skip out on anything important. So I'm kind of like damned to take my sweet time with it. But that's how it is sometimes. It's gonna be interesting to see if I enjoy the game as much at the end of the playthrough as I do now. But yeah, all we have to do is just continue the story and be surprised, I think. It gives us motivation to keep on going and play this game beyond just a shorter narrative experience. Because that's what it is, right? It's really focused on the narrative, much more so than anything else. Above tarps flop in the wind. Forgotten hammers and nails rest. The door's locked, you can't get in. Hello there, the Silver Dwarf. Welcome in. And good evening to you as well. Hope it's going well. And hope you had a nice day. Someone has been sleeping here recently. Cindy? Enough coal to last for several winters. Smells of chemicals. I reckon that's everything I can do up here for now.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Get to the disco. I'll save it, Dr. Darling. Welcome in. How's it going, dude? Going quite well, and hope it's the same for you. That's great to hear. Glad you're doing well. And yeah, thank you. Doing also very good. Had a busy day, but yeah, it's good to unwind a bit with some gaming. Been really enjoying this game so far. Not sure if you've heard of it before or have seen it being played. It's a very like narrative, kind of like tabletop type of game, but very well written, very unique too. And personally, I just love the art direction. Late stream, Refer Discord announcement, but wasn't expecting a stream at 8 PM. So when were you expecting the stream then? That is good to hear. It's your country's first big game. Ah, right. It's Estonian, isn't it? From like an Estonian game developer. Zaum or something. Oh yeah, that's awesome. I didn't even make the connection yet. I kind of like read about it being Estonian. But yeah, of course, you would kind of like know about it. That is true, darling. But I have to be up quite early in the morning, so definitely won't be a late night stream quite as much. And yeah, then tomorrow we're gonna have a regular daytime stream. Gonna be playing a bit more Valhalla. Gonna finish the Grand Bridgeshire story arc and then make our ways to East Anglia. We hear distant traffic. Night is falling on the city. A maroon glow of light pollution rises from the east. Everything is locked. Why can't we do parkour and just like jump over to that rooftop?
Citizen!
Citizen? Hava Aura? And Hava Blonde Teddy, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining as well. And yeah, thank you also both again for the follow yesterday. Silver and Blonde. I hope it's going well. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this Elysium so far. I love, kind of said it earlier, but I do love the writing. The way it's kind of like written. And how it's like narratively structured in a way where kind of like constantly talking to yourself in a way. But yeah, I also love the art direction. The only thing I would say is it takes me ages to get through this game. Like I'm still on the first day, right? And it's like my 7th stream. But I've been just like going around and just like interacting with everything and talking about it and really enjoying that, of course. But yeah, it also means definitely being like a bit of a longer playthrough. Yeah, almost Aura. I mean, I was pretty fast though. If I was the first redeem or like a second, you know, first redeem, Might have grabbed that one. But yeah, how's it going, Aura? Hope you're having a nice day so far. She is blonde. I like that dino dance emote. It was an alliance raid. It surely was. You know, that's what we do around here. It might seem like a raid at first, you better brace yourself, but, you know, once you arrive, we usually come in peace. Another splattering of bullet holes in this wall.
The spread pattern of these bullet holes makes your chest ache. Your breath grows heavier.
Let's examine closer.
You peer into the faded marks in the stone. They peer back like an endless row of tiny black holes. Sweat starts trickling down your brow.
Or you have to lurk in a few minutes because of meeting, but hello. No worries whatsoever, Aura. Definitely understandable. I hope the meeting goes well. And, yeah, maybe talk to you later. If I'm still around by then. But I should be going for at least a few hours here. It's a long and you guess more cozy game. A lot to explore. Absolutely, yeah. It's great when you just wanna like explore every nook and cranny. And given you also like constantly going back to like talk to characters again. Definitely gives a lot of layers to the areas that you're exploring. It's not like you're like one and done with like a location. I think it also gives kind of like life to this city in a way. Having like a cast of characters that, you know, reappear.
This is bad mojo, man! Fucking horrible mojo! The end draws near!
Necktie coming in again. Oh shit.
Your chest feels tight looking at them. It's closing in, caving in, ever tighter. Your breathing grows even heavier.
Maybe I should heal myself another time. Why not?
You okay there?
The lieutenant's sudden voice cuts like a blade, bringing you out of a stupor. That reminds me of Harry Potter, because one of the spells they used was like stupefy or something? Or was it even stupor? Something like it. But they're basically like stunned enemies. I started feeling really bad there for a second.
Might be the after effects of your past escapades. What are you looking at?
What's with all the bullet holes? I've seen a lot of them around.
Remnants from the revolution. These are over half a century old.
So no crime has happened here?
Perhaps a crime of a sort ages ago. But no, these do not warrant an investigation.
Okay, but what can you tell me about the revolution?
Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Should we go?
So initially I went for the sensitive archetype. It's the one with a very high psyche, kind of like, yeah, trait, but also physical. So not so much focus into intelligence and motorics, but more like physique and psyche. But I definitely play into the like investigation. Like I try to actively solve the investigation. And I also try to keep my character kind of away from the harmful stuff. You know, from stuff that probably put him into the situation that he's in. That being said, if I have a chance to like, you know, smoke a cigarette, then I might do it. But when it comes to like anything heavier than that, I'm not too sure. But yeah, basically I'm trying to get this guy's life around. Because it seems like he wasn't all that bad initially. At least, you know, according to his statistics in the police force. Ah yeah. We have a new pair of jeans here. It actually plays into our psyche and physical traits here. The goddess. Giving us even worse reaction speed. It's already pretty bad.
The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand enters the pocket, your fingers brush against something, soft, yet crinkly. Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you have time. Something about the wrapper's texture is familiar. Not familiar in a good way, you might say. There's pain in there somewhere.
But hey, we now have a couple of jeans. That's a start. Thanks, Teddy. I appreciate it. I do hope so. I don't think we're lost cause just yet. Ah yeah, we can interact with this apricot chewing gum wrapper.
There it is again. The scent of apricots with a touch of cinnamon. Smells like the end of some distant summer. The surface of another planet or some ancient temple.
An ancient temple?
Yes, from the height of antiquity. A long, long time ago. Millennia ago. On an island of time you can never return to.
End of summer.
The sun sets into the sea, but the water does not boil. Instead, it turns to liquid gold. For a moment, the world's store of precious metals seems to increase dramatically, and you are rich. There is a movement next to you, the shuffle of a small coat, warm like the evening. But when you turn toward it, there's nothing there.
Also, hello there, Absolution. Sorry, I kind of missed your message there earlier. I guess because it was only like in a mode. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. And thank you for the lurk, Aura. Where did it go?
Why are you talking to a gum wrapper?
Let's take a deep, deep breath.
Bitter, citrus, sweet. It seems to grow stronger, like a glow, with every breath you take. Until a blossom of skin and flower petals erupts behind your closed eyes. Made of toffee, cream, and distance. You just had to take a dive. Feels so familiar.
So we actually gained a new thought out of the gum wrapper here. -1 reaction speed living in the past. You have found a trace of entity who's been stalking you across the plains. The Gloomstalker, the conglomeration. The shadowy organization behind your downfall. Possibly connected to the dreaded X something. Granted, it is impossible to determine its true identity, but you can remember where you first smelled its treachery. Yes. Use the Tutti Frutti gum wrapper, reconstruct the day you first breathed in our untrustworthy atoms. Yes, I'm gonna choose this. I would just have to kind of like forget one of these thoughts here. Well, given that I kind of want to focus on, you know, psyche and physics, I think I might forget White Morning. Oh, I can't forget this without a skill point, can I? Oh. That's interesting. I kind of thought you could forget them for free. Which means I basically wasted one of the skill points on forgetting Hobocop and not unlocking another one of these dots. Well, that's good to know, I guess, for the next couple of abilities and thoughts. Then I want to try the volumetric shit compressor. I already have, and I have found the solution to it as well. We have mastered and completed this thought successfully. We got our shit together. Thanks, Silver Dwarf. Really appreciate it. I hope you also have a good evening. Thanks again for, you know, being here. And let me also give you a shout out. So for those of you that haven't checked out the Silver Dwarf yet, we actually raided him yesterday. He's currently doing a stream, well not a stream, a playthrough of Assassin's Creed Valhalla for the first time ever. Currently focusing on getting the Norway introduction finished. And yeah, he's also very interested in history. Has lots of great gadgets and inventory, like shields and weaponry. And yeah, certainly knows his stuff around the Vikings. No worries, Silver Dwarf. More than happy to give you a shout out. I love that Gandalf mode as well. Brings me back. But yeah, a lot of Rings memes in general are just good.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
Yeah, so we kinda felt this because I don't have a visual calculus. So I can't even interact with these boots here.
An inconspicuous pile of the
Yeah, we've been here. You also have Gimli. That emote though. What moment is that one from? I wonder. It's not when they get flashed by Gandalf the White, is it? Is it when he's like enjoying a good pipe of whatever they're smoking?
Hello again, officer.
Okay, nothing new here.
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
Oh yeah, I can talk to Tommy again. I did like Tommy. Right to work. Exactly. I have a guy who's basically impersonating someone striking. But really just like a mercenary. Wait, so you did know something about who's smuggling drugs around here?
Nah, man. I was telling you the truth. I really didn't think it'd be her. She's okay. Sort of troubled, but still, a nice person.
So that's what that emotion was before. It was wishful thinking.
What else do you know about her?
Nothing. We just talked a bit. About life and stuff. She left me a key so I can park a lawyer if the jam broke. So, she in trouble or what?
Nah, no trouble. None at all. It's from a third movie where they go to Isengard and we see Merry and Pippin on the wall eating and smoking. Ah, right. Well, someone was smoking then. That's such a funny scene. Bit more of a light-hearted one, you know, after all they had to endure. Especially, you know, Pippin and Merry under the Urukai. But it's kind of funny how they just raid Saruman's private, like, supplies. I think there's actually a scene in the uncut version where they kind of like see them just looting all the, you know, exquisite foods and like drinks and tobaccos that Saruman has hoarded. But they certainly deserve it. But yeah, of course, Gimli would be, you know, kind of like enraged by that. Why can't I have that? I deserve something too. I mean, saying that there's going to be an investigation, you know, it should be pretty clear to him that we're already in that, you know, kind of like in the process of investigating.
It's that bad. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her?
Yeah, the last thing we need is more civilians involved.
Yeah, maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can.
What's the plan with those rhymes anyway?
Oh, you know. Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
Amazing. Sprechgesang. What he meant was Sprechgesang, which is a German word for rapping. You know, like it's literally translated, you would say it's like speech singing. But yeah, it's basically like rap. It's kind of funny that he says rap but with beats, you know, because it's usually what you would associate nowadays. But this is of course like an alternative universe type of deal. Still another premise that it follows the same kind of like, you know, roots of reality that we have. But, yeah, it might be that, you know, rap with beats isn't really a thing yet in this universe. Maybe it's like a pioneer of hip-hop. Silver lost a lot of Rings a lot. You yourself don't know as much, but you started reading the book. That's really cool. I've never read the books, unfortunately, but I did listen to the audiobooks, but only, partially, mostly just by like falling asleep to it. But it's still great, hearing the original source. But yeah, the movies have done such a great job adapting it and bringing it to life on the screen. You can really tell how much effort and passion, everyone on the set brought into the movie. But yeah, they're also among my favorite movies, 100%. I could watch them every year, pretty much. Hey there, Olive Rowe. Welcome in. Greetings. And how's it going? It seems you are raiding me today. It does occur, so yeah. Yeah, we had Silver Dwarf in here, Blonde Teddy, now you. Thank you so much for joining as well. And I hope you're having a nice evening so far. At least if it is evening for you. Learning new words in German? Yeah. Yeah, so I am German, and I do also have some rewards, or at least currently one reward in connection to it, which is summon the German. We can basically write something in English, and I will basically translate it into German. You're from Estonia too? Only an hour ahead of me, you think? Yeah, that's true. Should be an hour about at this point. So about 9 p.m. Oh, that's cool. That's, there's like many from Estonia over in Silver Dwarf's community. Especially, with this game as well, because this, of course, has been done by an Estonian game developer. So I'm sure you also heard about this one before. Relaxing from a gym session now. Very nice. That's definitely a good feeling, I'd reckon. Nice, like physical exhaustion. And then just chill a bit. Yeah, why? Why would you rap? Why Sprechgesang?
Tommy Lam was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
It's more him.
Well, good luck with that, Tommy.
Yeah, you too. Be
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays.
You've heard about Disco before, yeah? Never played it though. That's fair. Yeah, I was in the same boat. Definitely heard lots about it. So many people on Twitch play it, but never really, got into playing it myself. But yeah, now that I do, I definitely quite enjoy it. But yeah, it's more like, reading a book in lots of ways. So definitely gotta like narratively focused, games, I guess. Can one name be more you than another? That's a good question. I reckon it also depends on the person that maybe is making the statement that, you know, we made. And like the bias. Because there's certain assumptions that we make of like maybe persons and then think, okay, yeah, this, you know, person might more be, you know, that type of name than another. But ultimately, you know, it doesn't really say too much.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Wow, let's snap the fingers twice then.
Where am I? Who are you?
Like a magician recalling a subject from hypnosis, you've jolted her back to reality.
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast.
I was actually hoping you could tell me that.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
She adds with content. Hey, the Absolution, welcome in, dude. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing today? So where else would you be then?
Back in Mefka, during the time of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro. Until you came along, that is.
The look she gives you is accusatory. Like the name Candy seems more of a sweet person, and you guess Tommy is a rapper's name. Yeah, could be, you know. There's definitely certain like, yeah, cliches that go with certain names maybe. Associations, I guess. Like Karen, you know, being basically used nowadays to describe a person that just has like rage tantrums and feels themselves superior even to the manager of a place. But yeah, that's of course a bit unfair towards like, you know, Karens, but that's sweet and nice. But that's how it is sometimes, you can't really choose your name. Lil Tommy in the house. Yeah, it seems like the most badass rapper out there. When I hear that name, Lil Tommy, I think of like a 5-year-old that just discovered hip-hop or something. Who's Gabriel Buenguerro?
This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
She shows you the photograph in the lavish amber frame.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen. This man's got a hold over her, even 50 years later. You can feel it.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all of his lines.
She leans back, savoring the world she's conjured up. Karen, you think Bob is more of a simple person name, though there can be very smart Bobs too. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, Bob is always usually like a short version or like a nickname type of thing. And usually, I guess a person being called Bob would be called Robert in full. So if everyone calls you Bob, it kind of like means that they might not, at least the impression might arise that you're not taking a person entirely serious if you're like calling them by their nickname all the time. So I feel like that's why might also be, you know, an association with the name Bob. If you instead would call the person Robert, you know, it would sound maybe a bit more serious in a way. But again, that's kind of like personal bias. And that's mostly like, you know, my impression. So I take it you were in Meske when you were young?
Someone was.
Someone? Are these not your memories?
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know? All of this.
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal wave approaching.
Well, sorry to interrupt your dreaming, ma'am.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Lowman. It was early spring, and the mine behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden. While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution, in Methk, it was a golden age. Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
She set its back against the railing of her motor lorry. Behind her, mountains of memorabilia, photos and knickknacks line the dashboard. What are you hauling?
Diamonds.
Diamonds. Really?
Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
Okay, but what are you really hauling?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't know what you're hauling in your own lorry?
I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Wait, you get high off driving a lorry?
Oh, it's so much more than a high where I go, Harife. It's low. I go to the bottom.
She closes her eyes in reverie.
Yeah, it's definitely some kick. Some terrible kick in the dark. A sleep kick. Perhaps you can find out later.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the cargo just yet. I don't want to make it like too obvious. I guess it makes sense, minding your own business.
Of course it does. What did you expect?
I still don't really understand this whole boyadero thing.
Of course not. To truly understand the boyadero, you need to listen to On the Western Plain.
What's that?
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain.
And they live happily ever after?
Don't be stupid. The boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man, one night. As he and his beloved are out walking along the river Margaret, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down.
I think I see where this is going.
So the boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Margaret. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him.
Jesus. Beautiful song. That's not where I thought that was going.
You have to understand. A true boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a boyadero.
What if to truly love a boyadero is to float lifeless downstream?
Yeah, no happy ending whatsoever. That was a very dark version. Before I came, you seemed away.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things.
You hear that, Lowman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Should you drive a lorry if you get like that?
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camioners around. I drive routes no one else will.
What routes?
Lomonosov's Land, Udajnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain.
She nods and closes her eyes again, letting her mind submerge.
A terrible cold comes over her, rattling her teeth as she stares inward.
The Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas do Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds fly.
Also, Olive, thank you so much for the follow as well. I just had to readjust my alert there a little bit so it wasn't like going over the text farmer, right? Let me actually try it again. Yeah, that's better. But yeah, thank you again for a follow and really appreciate it. Mr. Kim is a great partner and a great character. Absolutely agree. Yeah, he's my favorite thing about, well, not thing. He's my favorite, character. And kind of like what I really like about this game primarily as well. In a way, I kind of want to make him proud. By getting our shit together pretty much. Because while a lot of other people have belittled our character, especially in the police department, he really seems like he has our back and, really tries to get us into a good place. And yeah. Guess when you're like down as much as the main character is, then that's something truly valuable. I gotcha, so just Oliver then. That makes sense. I do that. Cool, right into your dust, sister.
Irmao. I already am dust.
Thank you for now.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
Her voice treads off. Oh, seems like he wants to talk. Let's talk over here. Have a statue. Or was it here? No. It's just the memorial. But yeah, let's talk here.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
Yes, my hostel room calls.
We can pick up where we left off tomorrow morning.
Okay. Time to finally go to sleep. Look at this. I like the light of a disco ball. Almost chords for a song, doesn't it? But I can't do that. Can't even talk to most people here. Let's see if she has something new to say.
Hello again, sweetie.
Okay. I only have this one. I didn't choose this previously not to be like unkind to her. But it really seems like, sometimes we just open up new ways of like learning about characters. So I'm just gonna be a bit upfront and rude here.
Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
Sing. I wish I could, but I think we might still have to wait a bit longer. I think we're actually in search of like a music record or something. Maybe once you find that one. What is a paraplegic?
It means I can't use my legs. I was in an accident some years back, injured in the line of duty, as they say.
Were you a mountaineer?
Nothing so glamorous, dear. Though when I was young, I dreamt of planting the Revacholian flag on some figurative peak.
What did you do then?
I was a training and development manager at a rapidly expanding mail order shoe company. You'd think it would be a safe job, but I had to be everywhere, and well, once I happened to be under some faulty scaffolding.
That really sucks.
I was lucky. This was almost 20 years ago, and I was compensated exceptionally well. One can only dream of such payoffs nowadays.
Could I become a paraplegic? Yeah, thanks for clearing that up for me.
No problem.
She nods, smiling up at you from behind her glasses.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, like... in my experience, many people that were disabled in ways like this, like physically, don't actually mind, talking about it. It's more like, when you treat them differently only because they're like maybe physically limited, because that's something they already have to deal with on a constant basis themselves. And, I mean, imagine it's you. You wouldn't want to be treated differently just because you're like in a wheelchair or something. It's all about money,
The worker is in a deep slumber. Perhaps he's on his way to where you just came from, into the primordial darkness.
This guy. He's been there since this morning, pretty much.
Can I help you?
Okay.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
Well, we can try to push it now. It's another time of the day.
The door does not budge.
Oh, never mind then. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to my room now. I'm gonna call it a day.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Redecorated. That's what that's what you're calling it. More like destroyed. Did I investigate the body already? Unfortunately, I couldn't. I wasn't like physically able. Like I always puked. So yeah, unfortunately, didn't get to do it. Wasn't very lucky on the dice roll. But I hope that maybe the next day, if he's still hanging there, that I might have a chance to do it then. And then during the night he turns into a werewolf. That would explain why he doesn't remember a thing and why everything is destroyed. Welcome back, Aura. Hope the meeting went well. Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Alright, let's go.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
The wash is fine. That's good to hear. It's good when, you know, meetings turn out to be that way. On the balcony, you too tired? Yeah. It's like, let me just go to sleep.
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanted to discuss the RCM.
He lights a cigarette. How did you think today went?
Well, you were so hungover that you couldn't keep it down when we approached the hangman. So we didn't even inspect the body.
That's right. Didn't even inspect the freaking body. You have to question yourself, well, why didn't he do it? You know? I mean, yeah, we didn't get to do it, but it's also his job technically. Of course, he's also kind of like a bit more of a supervisor to us, maybe. But still, you know, he could have at least done that.
And there's still much to do at the crime scene too. We didn't search it thoroughly enough.
he would have put all of this more harshly, but he doesn't want you to feel completely discouraged. Probably because he's afraid that you'll just give up and keep drinking.
Yeah, it's all part of a plan. Starting from the outside and working back towards the scene of a murder. Yeah, no, what we're lying to. We don't have a plan. And also can't make any promises. I mean, who knows what our character will be up to during the night that we can't really control. I also don't think this really applies, you know. Like, we were a pretty good cop, according to the statistics that we found. We just fucked up. Let's just say nothing and just look at the city.
As for the interviews, we weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We interviewed Joyce Messier, the Wild Pines rep, and learned a lot. None of it very good news for us or Martinez, but
He gives you a quick nod of acknowledgement and approval.
above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
I mean, he's not wrong.
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow.
We're gonna have like cramps of hell. Waking up the next morning. I want to raise money for a charity. I don't know why I do the things I do, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age, and in those hills.
He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on a cigarette.
Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
He looks at his snakeskin shoes and smiles, suddenly. Let's say nothing and just look into the night.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
He pulls on a cigarette. Why are they like this?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts.
And in Jamrock and VGRIH?
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land.
He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky.
It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
Kuno's an interesting child. Certainly, he was very quick to insult us, but, I mean, I must have a pretty bad impression of cops usually, I guess. So it's not like that's coming from like nowhere. But yeah, I'm intrigued to learn more about Kuno.
Night. Captain Ptolemy Price steps into the yard. A piebald horse waits by the motor carriage, chewing oats out of an oat bag. Seagulls fly overhead. The sky is black. Captain Price wears a black suit and a standard patrol coat as he mounts the horse to head home. Rows of houses on either side, hunching over the sidewalks, and Precinct 41 with its dome roof growing distant. Around him, the streets are silent. A kid on the corner waves at the captain as he takes the turn on Petition and Main. The horse neighs. The captain nods back. Thanks, kid, he thinks. He's grateful.
Yeah, let's be realistic. We won't change anything here.
Probably not. Anyway, positive change happens slowly. We never really get to see the impact of our actions.
So what are our powers exactly, the RCM?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse?
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station.
Citizens? Gonna clip that. We now have an official Kim citizen.
Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM.
1,000? Why not more?
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol.
Okay, what else?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold sleep. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
Wait, how can you be sure that the arrestee will show up?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
When power calls you, you come. But power itself is a fragile trick of perception.
I see. And if someone resists,
As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power.
what happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
He taps on his coat pocket, where he keeps his notes. Wait, so if I kill someone while on duty,
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
and who makes all of these rules?
The coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
Let's say it was the citizens of Revachol.
Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it.
The moral intern, what is it?
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
If I didn't know, how would you describe them?
They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
What do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
What is their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something ominous. Something even a little feminine, but in a strict manner.
Who was Dolores Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
For you, she is something painful, though it's hard to say why.
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad. But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me. Do you?
Lieutenant arcs his brow, then pulls on a cigarette. It's a slim white thing in his fingers. Okay, so this is a pretty major choice in terms of like how we think of our character, really. So one is like in favor of we need like more police work here to turn this place around. The second one is yeah, saying we've done an awful job here. This isn't humanism. I thought it would be more in favor of like, you know, keeping the power balance, I guess. Of like saying, okay, yeah, we are the bourgeoisie and, you know, they are workers and it has to stay that way. The fourth one is the racist, sexist one. And we can also be completely neutral and not have any kind of like, you know, opinion on this. As with all the major choices in the game, I'm gonna make this a viewer choice. So if you are on desktop, then you're gonna have a window popping up here in a second where you can actually vote on one of the choices if you want. If you are mobile, then you have a kind of like symbol of a game on the top right of your chat. And if you click on there, you can see my journal, my task, etc. But also the votes once a vote actually happens. And then you'll be able to also vote on there. So yeah, I'm gonna go and do a vote for this here. So I have a pretty long choices each, so yeah, definitely good to read them beforehand. But yeah, there's always a 15-second timer on votes, and that means you have to be rather quick to actually place a vote. I wish the extension would allow you to have a 30-second cooldown instead of 15. But that's alright. Just gonna give it more time to prepare. Let's fucking go. Yeah, let's start the vote. Okay, so we are gonna embrace the bourgeois. So fast. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's very little time to vote. It's definitely easier for votes that have like, you know, less choices and like less text. But I unfortunately can't adjust the timer. I wish it could.
No, we are stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization, protecting the people of Revachon. That's the hand we were dealt. Without the MI, we would be common vigilantes.
Maybe we should make our own law. Or you make my own law, as Shea Patrick Comic would say.
I make my own luck.
That's sad, but still cool with verse voting. For sure, yeah. It's always great when you have like Twitch extensions that really integrate well into a game. And I wanted to utilize it for my first playthrough to have like a bit more viewer impact and influence. But I did kind of like dive it back a little bit because at the start of the playthrough I actually had every little choice done by viewer choice. But it took like so much more extra time because, you know, the game is pretty much only choices and it always adds like at least another minute to every choice because I always like talk about the choice, read it out loud, and then of course the vote itself. So I decided to only make it for like major choices at this point, or that I think might be more impactful choices. But yeah, it's a nice way for people to participate into the game, for sure. Yeah, maybe we should make our own law.
Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
He looks at the roundabout.
The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses. The red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west as Revachol commutes back to the suburbs. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Monday is over.
I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
How did you get so cool? Let's ask the question. Make him really uncomfortable. Yeah, it really did take a lot more time, given how many choices there are in the game. Would be cool if you had like a whole like let Twitch chat, control the entire game kind of like integration. And then basically just sitting here and watching. Would be like role reversal. The community plays and the streamer just watches. But something that can be done for games like Pokemon, to let the chat control like every action, pretty much.
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy.
He flicks the ash.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit.
The cigarette is such a great idea. I think I'm going to have one too.
You're cold, Detective. Again, I only have exactly one every night.
Right then, the debrief.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day.
Yeah, thank you for this.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
He puts off a stub of a cigarette and looks to the door. Oh yeah, we still need to pay Garte for the next day here. Then on Wednesday we gotta close this. And we also gotta... Yeah, the smoke on the balcony. This apartment after 9 o'clock to see if anyone's home. Gonna do that on Tuesday. It's gonna be the last thing we're gonna be doing for that day, pretty much. Okie dokie. No smoking allowed. Yeah, no smoking, no drinking. My character's going cold turkey. Only a few tasks. Yeah, just a few that have like amassed over this day. Still gotta sing karaoke. We still gotta track down our badge. We didn't even inspect the victim's body. We still gotta find some booze and drink it. You know, a very important task indeed. Ah yeah, we also gotta find our gun. Should be an easy one. Yeah, see you in the morning.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
Can I just clean this up? Jesus. I couldn't sleep like this. I'd rather sleep on the floor.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep dies. And sleep doesn't come.
Ah, yeah, classic. It's like I had a really long day. I'm super tired. I just wanna have some shut eye and rest. And your brain is like, hold on, dude. I have a few more things I would like to talk about. Yeah, I've been there. Fortunately, a long time ago. But, yeah. When you can't actually, sleep well, that's like one of the worst things. That's annoying, especially if you have to wake up early. Yeah, especially then, because then you might also stress yourself out about like, okay, I only have like, I don't know, 4 to 5 hours of sleep left. And if I don't utilize those, then I'm gonna be completely destroyed the next day. Appreciate when you can't sleep but you don't know why. Like, at least tell me what's going on, brain. No kidding. So, why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Yeah, it must be the bed, right? It can't be something different, like in our subconscious or something. Let's check the pillow.
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly.
Check the blanket.
It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily.
Roll over to the other side.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Who killed him? Who?
Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Elysium? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves.
No more thoughts. Falling asleep now.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Dream sequence. I didn't expect this. Going to the murder scene. But with a disco light. And it's us hanging here. That's trippy.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
You said who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth?
I left.
Oh no, Funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. Or you just stood there, with one hand on the bottle and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I don't want to come back.
They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me.
Yeah, or oh my. quite a picture they're describing here. The painting. The voice is very raspy. Is that the right word? Yeah, pretty much like raspy. Like a very, yeah, we would say rau in German. But yeah, a voice that sounds very like rough in a way.
You found Elysium.
I've seen you before.
No, you haven't. You're just sleep talking. And the act is wearing thin, too. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The pale and the useless. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
Did I? Were I just trying to make me think that I did? You call your cat Stinky Boy? That's funny. We do call our dog Stinkeline when she's like ready to take a bath pretty much. But usually she smells actually really good. Or like at least, you know, good for a dog. Like Fritos sometimes. But of course, you know, after a while she of course also doesn't smell maybe the best anymore, and then it's time to take a bath. And at that point she becomes Stinkeline, which means like, yeah, like, you know, stinky girl, but like cutified, pretty much. You do the same to your dog? Fair, yeah. I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
Say then you're gonna get ready for bed. Good night and have a great stream. Thank you so much, Blood Teddy. I really appreciate it. I hope you also have a good night and a good rest later. And yeah, thank you so much for being here and for dropping by. And also for leaving the follow yesterday too. And yeah, I'll probably catch you tomorrow at Silver Dwarf stream. I think he's gonna be doing some more Valhalla. I wanna definitely drop by if I can, have a look at the rest of his Norway session.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry.
I'm with you, Aura. That doesn't sound very good.
Time to go to work in the shit factory.
New song confirmed. Time to go to work in the shit factory. Perfect. That's a true worker song, isn't it? That's actually the song they're singing on the way to the strikes. Ever to Redemption. Need that? I'm gonna make it part of the song Redemption. Maybe just transform a minstrel to the song Redemption or something. We're fine. Aren't we?
Good going, buddy.
What the hell was that?
Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
What the hell is going on with me?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
Why is this happening?
It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, if we're like full of drugs and booze, you know, it would take a while for our body to really like compensate that again. And he's probably having like severe withdrawal as well. Yeah, exactly. You know, if your body becomes like so used to like having like a supplement.
Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself.
What is speed? Yeah, I'm not gonna opt in to that. I'm not going to go looking for speed.
Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
Also, hold on, I gotta check something real quick. Ah yes, supplement. Yeah, I wanted to use a bit of a euphemism there. Dear withdrawal symptoms, shut up. Yeah, shut up, would you? We don't need you here. That's a lie. I can do this without the speed. Half a town won't be dead.
Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark.
I do like the fact that we kind of like so into like physique, and physique kind of makes us want to take more drugs and stuff. But it has like a strong presence, but we're kind of not really opting into it. You know, it's like a very strong intrusive thought for Harry, but that's what makes it more powerful, you know, like resisting in a way. And hey, we even got rewarded with XP there. Exactly. Who needs speed if you have a yellow hat like that? And green snakeskin shoes. Have more speedy shoes of more. I'm not gonna leave my door open. Alrighty. Oh. Didn't see this room before. How did I pay for the hotel? Did I find more than $2? Well, I didn't really find enough to pay already, but when I paid back the money for the damages and stuff, I basically also paid at the same time for another night. That was kind of like, you know, calculated into the money I was owing, pretty much. So for the next day, I would have to get 20 reals. So I have to still get another, you know, 17 today to be able to afford another room.
Morning.
He gives you a quick nod.
Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
Are these the men Gati told us about yesterday?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about. And one big problem to replace it.
Nice. That's another task complete. Yeah, let's roll.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first.
I like how authority is more like inferiority complex in lots of ways, you know? At least it's my impression. Like trying to compensate for feeling inferior.
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
I'm gonna go with Kim there. Gonna go and run past him for now.
Can I help you?
Yeah, we can't pay the bill yet, so we have to wait here.
Just a moment.
The old woman turns back to the cafeteria manager.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
The cafeteria manager appears genuinely apologetic.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
Sorry ma'am, I didn't mean to eavesdrop on your conversation. Tell me, how might I make this up to you? Maybe, you know, do a phone call for you or something?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Why did you need to use the phone anyway?
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
Okay, but has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
A cold breeze hisses through dense thickets of reeds. Something sweet in it, somnolent. A damp chill goes down your spine. When you look around, you're still in the whirling in rags.
But you have more important things to worry about.
She glances out the window towards the bay. So what is this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect.
His assistant, is it? Really?
But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the waterlock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
The waterlock, that was broken. Could this be it?
Oh my god, I succeeded with logic. That's never happened before. So who's this Gary person? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that.
She smiles.
Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
The waterlock on the other side of the coast is broken. They're probably just stuck over there.
Oh my. What happened to the waterlock?
I really don't know.
Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared me another sleepless night.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
Yeah, I mean, on a Wednesday. But I could check today, just in case.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the waterlock's been repaired, and it's cold out there.
If I see him, I let him know you're here, when or if I get there. Yeah, let's accept the task.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
So your husband is some kind of scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
What is cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
The lieutenant sounds unimpressed. Yeah, I don't blame him. Sounds like what Ubisoft Quebec wants to do over time.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
So what, I'm actually helping Ubisoft Quebec here pretty much in this quest. Never mind, let me not do this task anymore. Abandon.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
Abort mission.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious.
I mean, I can get behind that, you know. But yeah, a mythological beast would be different to, okay, this is just like a rare species, to be fair. But I can see how they might overline on some level, you know.
Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless. And frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own.
Tell me more about morale, looks, character, your relationship.
Oh dear. I'm not sure where to begin.
What does your husband look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
So husband is looking for Bigfoot, classic. No, it's more like he's looking for bear pigman from South Park. Yeah, no, it's definitely like that though. He's probably looking for both Bigfoot and bear pigman. Yeah, it's like, okay, grumpy expression. That's probably like 99% of the people who are living in River Shore. But to be fair, the eyes that are sticking out, you know, that's maybe a unique treat. But yeah, I'm not really interested about his palms or hands, you know. How about you just tell me like his hair, for one? You know, things that stick out to a usual person. It's not like I'm going to go to every single person. I'm like gonna be like, open your hands and show me your palms. Oh, they're not coarse? Okay, never mind. Ah, they're gentle though. How about you give me a stroke? That would get awkward real quick. She can't even tell his hair color, how tall he is. Yeah, for a scientist, she's not very good at describing. But yeah, that really helps a lot.
It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Well, that's a fair point that empathy is making here. You know, when you kind of like know a person so well, you don't really think about, okay, these are like the obvious, you know, like things describing a person. You really like more about, okay, these are like the personal attributes that I associate with a person. But still, I was asking specifically like, what does he look like, you know? And even with a person I would know really well, I would still start with, okay, you know, these are like the core appearance features. Let's try again. If I were trying to meet him on the street, what would I look for?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame. And he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
There we go. I can work with that.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
It's funny that Kim waited until this point. He didn't even bother, you know, writing down the other description.
One other thing. He'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
How did the two of you meet?
Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident. And he'd just divorced.
I mean, don't really have to be ashamed of that, to be honest. That reminded you that your husband and you have been together 11 years this month. Holy shit. Congratulations, Aura. That is a lot of years indeed. That's amazing. Yeah, exactly. You know, whatever like works for you. And especially if you're like in this kind of condition, you know, it might even be more difficult to get you know, like to meet people that you might potentially be interested in dating. And sometimes, you know, things like these can also be like deal breakers to persons. So I guess, you know, like having that like as an info out on front, you know, might get rid of other people who might not wanna, you know, meet a person in that kind of condition. It's a fight of your life, nuts. Yeah, it's crazy to think about sometimes. You know, how long you might been knowing certain persons, or like in this case, you know, like spending their lives together. It does feel like sometimes time does fly.
We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She smiles wistfully.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I think I have all the information I need. Let's move on.
I hope I've been useful.
Tell me more about this rare insect your husband is looking for.
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
Say what?
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
I'm with Kim there. It's like, do I really want to know about this? But yeah, I'm gonna inquire. I'm gonna hear about the insect.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but
Oh yeah. Here comes the interesting.
where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insular Indian coast. Hence its name, the Insular Indian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
She looks him in the eye and nods thoughtfully.
There's a touch of awe in the way she enunciated the creature's name.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
Would be funny if they turn out to be right and then Kim is like, okay, I take that back. I wouldn't mind actually proving Kim wrong on at least one occasion. You know, because that's of course something that isn't like of much of a relevance to the case or anything. It's just like, you know, it's always good when you can prove people wrong that might be writing or something. I just want to believe in something. If it's, you know, actually the truth. It's such a terrible word. Yeah, certainly a word that I haven't really come in contact with too much yet.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
What makes you think the phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
So that's the evidence. Some teenagers making out. And who knows what else there might be on. So newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have?
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insular Indian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
So is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Is it valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
But does it have its cool powers for?
Yes, It can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years, centuries even.
Yeah, I think I call bullshit. But I'm happy to also be proven wrong. You sure it did? You bet that exact description of the insect was incredibly vague. Yeah. I believe it when I see it.
Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
Okay, major choice time. We have the option to use suggestion here, which is a psyche ability. Hence why I also have such a high chance. Since we have a green A pen and we made her be less worried about her husband, we also have increased chance of succeeding. But we don't have to do this. That's gonna be a viewer choice here. So I'm gonna be starting the vote now. But yeah, please keep in mind that you should only vote for 5 or 6. Since you already triggered choice 1 to 4. So yeah, suggestion is gonna be, maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids. Which is probably gonna annoy Kim even further, but gives us a chance to learn about something potentially. Or we can just, you know, leave and say, okay, that's all for now. So I have a vote, is gonna start now. Okay, 100% for suggestion. Let's do it.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Hey Lena, I'd like to hear about some of the cryptids you've studied. Could you just tell me about a couple of them?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
I mean, Kim, if you don't want to hear it, you could also just, you know, talk to Gati or something. You don't have to look over my shoulder like 24/7. Cryptid extravaganza. I like the sound of it.
And I don't. Just one.
It's incredibly fun to annoy Kim, I've learned. Now I can't stop.
Or he'll be disappointed in you.
At the same time, want to make him proud, but at the same time also want to annoy him. We could inquire about the biggest, the tiniest, or the most dangerous. Well, given that we only can learn about one cryptid, I guess I'm gonna also make this a viewer choice. So yeah, let's focus on the first 3 for now. So we can choose between the biggest, the tiniest, or the most dangerous. Let's start a viewer choice now. Okay, we're gonna ask about the biggest cryptid here.
That would be the giant of Kokonur.
She says as if it's common knowledge.
The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur Desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren wastes.
What do you mean, strange light?
Mirage or psychogenous luminance.
She doesn't elaborate the nature of his luminance further. Sounds very scientific, doesn't it? A mirage. And how big is it?
No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizon and expanding to cover almost a third of your field of vision. The towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana, others, fate unimaginable.
Pui. No animal can be that large. It's a mirage.
That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Kokonur must be the largest animal the planet can support. There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Kokonur desert might allow the creature to grow to these gargantuan sizes.
Right.
Great. This is great shit. You need more.
This is great shit. Okay, so it doesn't actually have to be a choice here. We could actually inquire about more of them. But it would kinda anger Kim, I guess. Well, given it was also another viewer choice here, the fourth one, I'm gonna go for this one for now. And also some reference to the pen we found, so who knows what this might lead to.
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
But this is about the pen, though. Yeah, I wanna hear about this. And you want to, Kim. Admit it.
The lieutenant pauses, thoughtfully. Something in him breaks.
I love it. I love when something breaks in people, which is how I am. Poor Kim, predict the plot twist. Kim isn't real. Imagine. He's actually just a mirage. I've seen that one before.
Ah, fuck it. Let's have more cryptids.
Amazing. It's kinda cool hearing Kim, talk like this. Because he's usually so like, reserved and like well-mannered and won't really swear that much.
Well, the cryptid on your pen is the kind green ape, half war story, half undiscovered species in the genus Homo.
War story?
Yes, it was reported by soldiers in South Safra during the war. The kind green ape would visit bunkers during the night, healing wounded soldiers with its saliva.
With its saliva?
Yes, it has amazing healing qualities. Some soldiers reported growing back limbs, regaining their sight.
Others, getting a really bad infection and then just dying. And there was something about an undiscovered subspecies of man.
Indeed, there is. It's our closest relative among the cryptids. Same taxonomic family, different genus.
I know, right, Aura? That's nasty.
Which is to say, the kind green ape is a species with which we share a common ancestor, and that evolved parallel to our own. Just like your partners.
I don't know, this is kind of like subscribing to the ratio theory here pretty much. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, saying that a person has like a different heritage is like one thing, but treating them differently because of it is another. You know, that's actually getting to the racist territory. And I don't know, by kind of not talking to him, but to us about him, you might get that impression. But yeah, that's why I'm hesitant to choose the first option, even though I kind of like want to needle Kim. But I don't want to need, Kim by belittling him because of something like this, so I'm gonna go with 2 here. I'm pretty sure Kim is the same species as us. To suggest otherwise is stupid.
The lieutenant looks at you, pleasantly surprised.
Well, I'm sad to hear that he's surprised about us taking that stance, but you're welcome, Kim.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to imply that Saolites are inferior to us in many ways. You are superior. For example, your earwax doesn't have a foul odor like ours does.
See, that's still racist in a way. Because now you're talking about your species, in an inferior way. But you can see where she's coming from, that it's like on a, yeah, for her it's like, okay, these are like the scientifical differences, but how does earwax odor, matter that much? Like, why do you care? What is a zeolite? I have no idea. Would probably be like, a description like, Asian, Latin American, maybe. Something like it. I guess in this universe they have their own like terms for all those kind of things. With like languages, or if it's, describing the heritage of a person or something like that. But yeah, can we change the topic, lady?
A tremendous evolutionary advantage, I'm sure. But perhaps we've had enough speculative biology for today?
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm gonna spare Kim more cryptids here. Like, once you got to the race theory, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm good. Why can't we just celebrate differences, in diversity? Instead of like concentrating on what makes us different. But yeah, let's move on from this.
Of course, dear.
I suddenly have to return some videotapes. It's like, this is awkward, but I really gotta go. Bye. Oh, you're inside now.
Let me handle this.
The woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning to you.
Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome.
You're the gardener.
No, I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union.
Really? That's surprising. Totally.
So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does.
She points to the man on her right.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest, if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
So what's your role in all of this?
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
Yeah, apparently I do. Because I missed the part where I actually explain what your role is in all of this. Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
How about you don't assume this kind of stuff about us, you know? These damn French Canadians, so sassy. I know, right? Where are they from? Quebec?
Fuck yeah.
A tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Let's.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk to Titus yet because Kim told us to wait a bit longer. So that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna wait. That's what we said earlier. We are the stooges of a bourgeois. That is true. We did? Okay, the body's still hanging there.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Wow, that actually increases our chance to inspect the body much, much further. Plus we successfully compressed our shit. So that's also giving us a +6 chance here, leading to 97% chance of success. So we're gonna go and trigger this because, you know, I need to finally inspect this body.
As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it. The spell has no effect. You stand eye to eye with it, the odor washing through you.
Step closer.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Look him in the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess. Underneath the curdled meat there is an expression, not carried on his features, but below, inside, an expression of pleasure. This man was experiencing joy at the moment of his death.
Huh. Autoerotic fixation, is it? Getting pleasure from actually feeling like you're almost, you know, losing all your breath. But yeah, of course, there's many other options, you know, maybe he got killed while having intercourse, and then he got, you know, hanged up at a tree afterwards to, like, publicly display him or something. That's what it sounds like. Kind of embarrassing way to die, to be honest. At least have a safety escape. Yeah, or like another person. I had to think of it because it's one of the scenes in a show that Livia and I are watching or rewatching currently, which is Californication. Like a rich billionaire guy who basically has to finance the movie that the main character is writing for. They do like anything for that person basically to get him on board to finance the movie. But then they find him pretty much dead from, you know, autoerotic fixation. Because he didn't have a safety escape or like another person. And yeah, safe to say that movie doesn't get financed for that person anymore. But yeah, let's hope it was something different here. Okay, so we have a really high Inland Empire stat here, so we could actually try to use that. Tell me, who are you, dead man? Let's make this a viewer choice, whether or not we would trigger this choice. It's 97%, indeed. Imagine actually failing a choice like this.
I'm gone.
It's the same voice as in our dream. Why were you feeling pleasure when you died?
Maybe I was getting my rocks off.
So you were feeling sexual arousal when you were hanging?
Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type to you?
That is. Yes, you do.
Captain Coppadromo, I fear we are drifting away, fixating on sexuality again. Let's go with a simpler question.
I can see that you're gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
Yeah, there's nothing funny about you.
There is nothing funny about jokes either.
Who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
Takes one to know one.
I have another question for you.
Go ahead, Coppo.
Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
It looks like a duck and sounds like a duck, then maybe it is a duck. You could have an impression. How am I talking to him? So we use the Inland Empire ability here pretty much. I can read this one. Cool for dreamers, paranatural investigators, and mental creators. Inland Empire is the unfiltered wellspring of imagination, emotion, and foreboding. It enables you to grope your way through invisible dimensions of reality, gaining insight into that which sight can't see. What's really going? What do these enigmatic riddles mean for the word fate? At high levels, Inland Empire animates the inanimate. You will have conversations with your clothing, conversations that may change the course of the investigation. If you're not thrown in the loony bin first. With low Inland Empire, however, you'll be void of imagination and character. And then how will you shape the cosmos? So basically use our imagination to talk to him. Where's that?
In the past, way out in the west.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you?
It's the power of your...
Black frothy liquid starts bubbling on his lips.
Imagination.
There you go. He said it.
Yeah, man! Don't be crazy! Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk to you. Your wild imagination is doing this. Ask some more of those questions you love so much.
But yeah, because you have such a high psyche stat within an empire, the necktie also actively talks to us at times. Because yeah, we also talk to our clothing. Kim just standing there silently. He's like, I'm not even gonna ask what's going on here. Is that Charles Vane? You mean the voice for the Hanged Man? The kind of like really rough, raspy sounding voice? I mean, it definitely, you know, has like a similar vibe that it gives. I wouldn't really know if it's if a voice actor did something for this. That rambling sounded like Charles Vane. Well, we can listen to it again.
He loves those.
Why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Yeah. Give me a comical amount of questions.
Coming right up, copperoonie. This is getting upbeat now.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
Who killed you?
Love did me in, Provocopo. It was love all along.
Is my name Rooney? Wayne Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
I do strike myself as a Rooney.
No, you don't. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
Can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
You gonna look it up? Thank you, Aura.
Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
Motionless? His face is motionless like Osiris. Ah, I gotcha, Aura. So it's still done by the main, like, voice actor, I guess, for the internal dialogues. That's really cool. Yeah, that voice actor has quite a range, to be fair. It's really cool, he's also playing in a metal band. Maybe this will lead to something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous? The clown lips on the corpse appears a smile. The face rotates before you, slowly.
Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air, on your hands, the cold spring air smoothing them over.
Where's the sound bit sauce? Exactly. He also voices the necktie. I wouldn't have thought that, to be honest. But they're talking about range. Okay, enough.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
He's a limbic system too. Damn, so pretty much all the internal dialogues then. Yeah, that's quite impressive. Because limbic system also sounds very, very different. Let's inspect the tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Not all of them, but he and the narrator are the top voice, it seems. I gotcha. Ah, okay, I see. So I kind of was under the impression of the narrator and, you know, him are like the same. But okay, so they're like two separate voice actors then. But yeah, that would make sense if they kind of like voice most of the characters then. That are kind of like in connection to Harry, at least.
His corpse is marked by stars.
What will mine be marked by?
Alcohol and heartbreak. Your fist clenches suddenly.
It will be riddled with disco.
Decay is creeping on the tattoo. Already, most of the canvas that's holding it has darkened. Now, it disintegrates slowly, letting out a stink.
Is this a national pattern?
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocentic worship. But which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure.
The pattern does not stir patriotic or religious sentiment in you. What it does is speak to the wounded, limping animal, the male in particular, unable to communicate in anything more than grunts. It's impossible to tell if its advice is right or wrong.
I'm missing something here.
So am I.
A sudden ringing fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Let's have the lieutenant work.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
Well, thanks for asking the question for me.
An instant color camera.
He produces two metal-capped ampules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin dot shines there.
This is the first time he openly acknowledges the kid's existence.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting. Then...
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
The lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of a dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
Even Kim thinks it's cool. That's saying something. What do we need for photo 4?
It contains insight to the victim's person. This was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter to us. Now, if you could find someone to decipher it.
Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
He hands you a piece of rolled up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
Let's inspect the belt.
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. Oh my, there's something on the belt. A familiar word that speaks to the thirst within you.
A word?
Vermilion, in yellow letters, along the length of the twisting cargo belt. Only a deep longing for vermilion golden spirits lets you decipher the fading logo of the local brewery.
This is a bad time for a drink, right?
For me?
A word? A drink? For me? Thank you for redeeming the summoning the German impression there, Dr. Darling. Oh, that's gonna be tricky. Give me a sec. No soundbits had to make it up somehow. Didn't actually realize that I didn't have the songs enabled. I should definitely change that. I'm gonna do it for you in German as much as I can at least. Deine Glieder sind von Dauer. Korruption kennst du nicht. Heil dir, Osiris. Or what do you actually say? Osiris would like I try to think what Osiris actually sounds like in German. If we say the same thing. Osiris? Not sure. Let's say Osiris. I never heard it being pronounced in German, to be fair, before. That name. Heil dir, Osiris. Deine Glieder sind von Dauer. Korruption kennst du nicht. In dir sind keine Würmer. Du bist nicht abstoßend. In dir sind keine Würmer, du bist nicht abstoßend. Hier ist das Grab von Osiris. Bewegungslos, bewegungslos wie Osiris. Bewegungslos seine Glieder wie Osiris. Lass sie nicht unbeweglich bleiben, lass sie nicht verderben. Sie rühren sich nicht, sie rühren sich nicht. Es geschehe für sie wie für Osiris. Ich bin Osiris. Gute Nacht. Jesus, that was so weird translating. I actually used Google Translate as a bit of a helper here on the side, but did some fine adjustments. Because it's just so weird to translate, like some of the wording. Because of course, like written in a way that's like, you know, definitely trying to be kind of like of a time, you know. So that already is a bit weird in like English language and then like translating it into German. But yeah, thank you for teaming that, Dr. Darling. And I definitely also hope you have a good night and some good rest as well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm also definitely gonna call it here soon after I finished investigating this body. But yeah, I'm quite glad with the progress we've made today on this. Should only take us another 5 months to get through this game, right? I take it you enjoyed that one aura. Can stay for another 10 minutes, need to see more of this game. Sounds good. Yeah, probably shouldn't take us more than 10 to get the rest of the investigation done here. But yeah, this is a bad time for a drink, right?
Extremely.
What kind of rope is this?
Industrial strength. The kind used for tying cargo to lorries.
Like in a circus. When the circus leaves town and they tie a black-spotted giraffe to the wall of a carry pen.
Like in a circus for transporting black-spotted giraffes?
No. More like in a harbor. Like the one just east of here. I get the sense they used whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
That's what you get for listening to Inland Empire. aka imagination. We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it?
Yes. The debrief we got from the Wild Pines representative appears to be solid too. A lynching is what this looks like. Our internal RCM brief said the same.
He looks at you.
By the way, when you get a chance, perhaps you should ask me to share the RCM brief with you. I'm pretty sure you've forgotten it.
They sure wanted him to stay there. The polyester seems strong.
It's not merely polyester. It's steel reinforced. See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits for more than 20 strands. This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed.
How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
He points to the buckle, tying the bow to the branch above. Did they climb up using the kid's ladder?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
He makes up a pulling motion. Okay, back off and look at the corpse.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
Inspect the boots.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
These aren't just boots, are they the armor?
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
What kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
The material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive.
The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation of the ceramic with his index finger.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Kaching? We're just gonna steal the boots. Catching, baby.
By catching, do you mean let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them?
Nah, never.
What was that about the constabulatory before? You need to push some buttons if you want to recruit the lieutenant in a conspiracy.
I mean, if I steal them, then I can afford the hostel room for at least a couple of months. What are you hiding, Kim? What are you hiding? Yeah, no, that's not what I meant.
Of course.
How could this man afford such expensive hardware?
He worked for Cornell, like Joyce told us. This is military equipment, provided by a wealthy security contractor, with state ties, way above what we have.
What happened to the rest of it?
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days.
A vitamin take off boots for?
We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
If you wear those pieces, it will help me protect your mortal coil.
Why does my mortal coil need protecting?
Yes, bullets will fly. They always do. And the coil is fleshy and mush and permeable. Cast it in ceramic shell. Resist death.
Understood.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form. Ageless and synthetic.
Okay, we're gonna leave the boots where they are for now.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink.
Observe.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
Relax your eyes.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities.
Okay, let's try this again. Hold
Only
on.
the lower extremities.
And try this choice.
How should I know why you are squinting, officer?
Squint harder.
Oh. You are trying to assess lividity.
Kim snorting woe.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
Something's coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
Disgusting.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
We got lucky.
Did we? I don't feel lucky.
He's beaten up. See the bruises?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
It means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
I don't know what to think. What do you think?
I think he was upright immediately after death. Blood has gathered in his hands and feet, and his neck.
He points to his fattened chin.
The noose acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis here is in tune with the hanging. That's what I think.
Could it still be he was moved after the death?
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
Back off and catch your breath.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Yeah, we investigate everything.
The steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it.
There's no question. There's only cutting. How hard can it be?
Ask for help from the harbor. Even though they are our suspects. I mean, that would give us an opportunity, though, to investigate further, to see how I might react to the body.
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
But also, it's a chance.
Confirmed. It's unsafe.
But what else can we do?
Okay, they do have the tools and the men. And since it looks like they put him there...
Yeah. They can get him down too.
Okay, let's do it in the lousy, dangerous way.
Yes. How do we get inside the harbor?
From the gates, by negotiating or fighting. I'm unenthusiastic about fighting. Or we can try to find some secret third path. It's unlikely though.
To the gates. Let's fight, I say.
But wouldn't it be dangerous?
To ask the suspects for help with the victim's body? To be indebted to Evrard Clare? Very much, yes. Which is why I would have preferred us to handle this ourselves.
I don't know what you mean, Kim. This is a perfect plan.
Clearly we can't.
Suck my dick, bitches!
Well, let's get to it then. But yeah. Oh, they actually stopped throwing rocks. Look at that. Nice. But yeah, this is going to be where we'll go ahead and have a save for. And this is going to be where we will continue next time. Actually, one thing I want to be doing before we head off here. I want to have a look at the thought cabinet and want to assign this apricot chewing gum scented one. But first gotta unlock other thought here, like this. There we go. We can now focus on getting this one unlocked. Nice. Okay, let's have another save here. There we go. Alright, so this is gonna be the end of the stream. I would like to thank you all so much for coming by and for joining me for a bit more of this Elysium. Tomorrow we're gonna be doing a regular daytime stream with more of AC Valhalla. I intend on finishing the second story arc in England with our no hut and no fast travel challenge. And that is gonna be Grantebridgeshire, and then we're already making our way towards East Anglia. And yeah, this Elysium, not quite sure yet when I will be doing more of this. I have some time on Saturday where I might be doing another stream. But gonna see. If not, then we'll just have to wait until next week again. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for being here. No worries whatsoever, Aura. Thank you for joining the stream. And I hope you also have a good evening later. Probably still a few hours until it's evening time for you. But I hope you have a good one later after work. Let's have a look and see who's online and who we can raid potentially today. Oh, I see Dogcatcher online. Haven't seen him for a while. He's playing some Black Myth Wukong. But he also used to do no HUD playthroughs of games like Horizon, but also Assassin's Creed Valhalla, actually, so he's done it before. But right now he's playing some Black Myth Wukong. He's also rescuing dogs in real life, which is pretty cool, if you ask me. So yeah, if you would like to join us for the raid, feel free to copy and paste those raid emotes. And I will be back tomorrow with more of AC Valhalla. So until then, I hope you have a great rest of the day, or evening, or morning, whatever the case may be. And I will catch you at another time. Cheers, Absolution. Thanks for being here as well, dude. Have a good one.